Season 5, Round 2. We are at Silverstone this weekend and we have a full grid, and the full grid is all full-time drivers. So it's doesn't happen very often, pretty rare, but all full-time drivers are in this week and all full-time drivers are racing for points. So every driver is going to be racing for points for their constructor. So yeah, that's pretty good news. I think it's probably only the second time in 5 seasons we've had all full-time drivers turn up to the race. So that's very, very good. So thank you all for joining us and watching and racing this evening. We have Silverstone. It looks pretty sunny. I'll get the weather update very shortly once we're actually into the session. But for qualifying at least, it looks sunny, which is good. Nice and clear. It's always good to throw a bit of the British weather's never amazing, so watch out for that. You know, it could turn on a sixpence tyre wise. It's one of the, in real life, it's one of the hard races for strategy and to take the tyres home, but on the game it is a very easy one stop, soft to medium or medium to soft, depending on which way round you want to do it. So now we are in the session. First driver out will get a full onboard lap until they invalidate, which is very, very easy here again. It's very easy to invalidate a lap, especially around turn 1 and turn 4, and then Cops, and then through Magus and Beckett's, exit is Stowe, and then the last corner at Club, or Vale, I should say, Club into Vale. So there's quite a few spots where you can invalidate your lap. A few drivers looking to go onto the medium tyres to get a banker lap in, or to try and get into the top 10. Looks like an Aston Martin is coming out first. Let's follow that. No, it's a... who is that coming out first? Just going down the list. I think it's the Williams of Rainer Zufal. So he will be, if he crosses the line first, our flying hot lap. First qualifying lap. He is on the soft tyres. So while we wait for him to do his out lap, let's have a look at what happened last week. So who won the race last week? It was Holmesy in the Aston Martin. Vengeance came in second as a reserve driver. Cali Robb came in third in the Ferrari. And then Lasser had a good start to the season, finishing in P4. Dace had a solid start in the Alpha, finishing in P5. And Williams are pretty good last week, actually. They came home in 4th and 6th respectively, so picking up 20 points, so only 5 points behind Aston Martin. Ferrari currently on 19, Alpha on 10, and then we've got McLaren on 6, Alpine on 2, Haas on 1, and Mercedes, Red Bull and Tauri were the 2 teams not to score any points. So we've got a race debut this week from Finn Kitts. He did try and join the session last week, or Plebmaster as he is on the PSN, making his race debut. He did try and join last week, but his internet decided to play silly buggers, so he didn't get that. So we'll see what he's like this week. So we're going to Rayner is now coming into Club. Very hard traction zone here as he comes around into Vale, and we're now going to start the flying lap. So we head down the new pit straight, or the Hamilton straight as they call it, and we go flat out into Farm, then the Farm curve. Then we're coming into Village. We come round Village into Aintree and the Loop. We're coming round the Loop now before we hit onto the Wellington Straight. DRS will open up and we come under the bridge. Quite a short DRS straight, but there is just about enough to get an overtake in if you come up the inside. At this corner, hits that apex, and then we've got the long right-hander of Woodcote before we head on to the old pit straight, as known now as the International Pit Straight, where some of the other formulas and car racing happens and starts down this straight. So you come round Cops, flat out, runs a little bit wide and does invalidate his lap, unfortunately. We'll just remain on board with him as we come through Maggots and Beckett's. Stays close to that inside on both, hits the apex, touches a little bit of grass there, and we come up the Hangar Straight, and we're going to head into Stowe. Stowe is very light braking, drop a couple of gears, find that apex, follow it round, and he's going to come into the pits and not complete his lap. Who was next on the list? I think it's not Will, it is Cornet. Wherever Cornet is on my list. Here he is. Cornet is going to be the first driver to set a timed lap as he comes around. He is on the medium tyres, don't forget. So watch what time he sets. He goes at 1:27, and Will's going to be the next driver to come across the line. And he goes faster, but he is on the softer tyre. He goes a tenth and a bit faster. You've got Lasser goes fastest in the Williams, and Red Dog puts a time into P4. We've got a McLaren coming round. Where's that McLaren? That's Delta Lima, and he goes 5th fastest with a 29 flat on the soft tyres. Another Aston Martin of Honesy, a 27.4. Both Ferraris, sorry, both live, both Alfa Romeos coming across the line in quick succession. Viet is obviously invalidated, and Dace set a 27.5 on the medium tyre. Stein goes on provisional pole with a 26.8, and Corbins, looking to bounce back from a horrendous week last week in the Mercedes, is currently in P2. Indian Jesus has set a quite a slow lap, more of an out lap. Obviously made a mistake at some point, brought the tyres home in good condition, and he's going to set himself up for another lap. As we watch him come round Aintree and the loop, he's got Bacon just ahead of him. His teammate could be getting a nice slipstream off him, ducking behind him, follow him down, and Bacon should dive out of the way at the last minute as Indian Jesus goes round the outside into Woodcote, now the right-hander, hits on to the international pit straight. So Rayner is now on his out lap. Viet is on his flying lap as we watch him go through Maggers and Beckett's. Cars really do stick through there. Touches a bit of grass there. It is the normal line that cars do take. Doesn't want to throw himself too far out onto or scrub too much speed off if you take it a little bit wider there for the hanger straight as we hit Stowe. Drops down into 5th gear. Follows it round, and we're going to head into the heavy braking zone here. Good spot for overtaking. You have got to trust the other driver, and the other driver's got to trust you too. If you go side by side into there, the driver on the outside is obviously going to have the inside line for the next corner. Sometimes it is better to defend on the outside and follow it round, but you can end up getting squeezed. So Viet took a 27 flat, so he's in provisional 3rd spot right now. We've got Kenya in the pits. Rayner's still on his out lap. Bacon hasn't managed to set a competitive time just yet. Medwards is invalidated. Cali Robb comes round the final corner, and he goes provisional pole with a 26.7, so a tenth and a bit faster than what Steinsap could have mustered. Rayner is just starting his lap. Let's watch right on board with Bacon in the Red Bull, see what he's got to bring to the table. Looking like he may well have backed out of this. I think he's run out of fuel. His fuel light is flashing, so I'm assuming he may well have run out of fuel here. So let's go on board with Rayner as he is setting another flying lap here. So we've got B16, former full-time driver, now reserve in the league, hoping to come back as a full-time as soon as he can. Watching his good friend Red Dog. Red Dog, obviously, they've been teammates the whole time they've been in the league together. And Red Dog now has a new teammate in Honesy in the Aston Martin this year. So he's looking to pick up any... He's getting a good shout for the Constructors' title. So McLaren last season finished pretty high between B16 and Red Dog between themselves. They probably put their hands up and say they aren't the fastest drivers in the league, but they are very, very consistent. They always seem to get good point scoring finishes, and they finished pretty high up and got some good points for their own Drivers' Championship last season. So Red Dog, if he can carry on that form this year, he could be with a very good shout of winning the Constructors, as Honesy won the Constructors on his own last season in the AlphaTauri, and Rayner goes a tenth, just under a tenth slower than his teammate Lasser. Both Williams are currently in P5 and P6, so watch out for Aston this year. They're my money for the Constructors' Championship. Obviously Williams, if they keep bringing home good high point scoring finishes next to each other like they did last week in 4th and 6th, and if they keep bringing home them like in the 5th and 6th at the minute, that's going to be pretty good for both of those two drivers. Viet has a very competitive time actually on the medium tyre, 27 flat, I believe. Let me just have a quick look, unless it's best. No, Viet, he did set his time on the soft. He did stick the medium on just to try and throw me off, but goes back onto the soft tyre now. So Honesy's done 3 laps on his medium tyres. I think he's getting in a bit of practice. He is invalidated. Red Dog is just starting his laps. That's right on board with Red Dog as he comes through farm and the farm curve into village. The heavy braking right-hander takes a lot of inside curb there. Following around the it's very hard to get that in, to get the braking right into that left-hander, as you've got to brake and turn, and the cars do not like it when you do that. They do start locking up, so it's very hard to get the car slowed down enough for that corner, as the Apex is quite a tight left-hander. And then we head into Woodcote again. When do you put the power down? You don't know. You just got to wait, be patient. If you put it down too early, you will run wide into the gravel. If you put it down too late, you're going to lose a hell of a lot of time coming down the old international pit straight as we head into Copse. A tiny little lift, but that's okay. You don't want to run wide there. You don't want to invalidate your time. You won't lose too much time by letting off there, but you will obviously lose a hell of a lot of time if you invalidate or you spin. As he follows it through, Maggots and Beckett's look pretty neat and tidy through there, and he is 8 thousandths up on his best time, so he is looking to improve. It won't move him up the position, but improvement is always good as we hit Stowe. Looks like he just missed the apex there, ran a bit wide, had to get out of the throttle halfway through the corner, so that would have lost him a hell of a lot of time. As we come into Club and to Vale, uses a lot of exit curb, kisses the inside curb, and does go faster, so he did lose time, but did gain a little bit back as well, but does improve his lap time there. So Righty is on an out lap. New car for him this year. He's been in the Ferrari last year, and he was, I can't remember what car he was in before actually. Stein goes provisional pole with a 26.732. I'm not sure what car Righty was in the year before. He was in the Ferrari, I can't quite remember, but yeah, he hasn't been in the Mercedes yet, so himself and Corbins are racing together. Stewart is pitting as I jump on board with him. Honesy is in the pits putting a set of fresh softs on. Will is invalidated. Lasser is 35 hundredths up on his best qualifying time as he heads into the final sector and the final couple of corners. What's he got as he comes round Club and Vale? He's going to hit the start-finish line and goes P3, so only, let's pretty close in times actually. Let's have a look to the gaps to the leaders now. So just over a tenth slower is Lasser from Stein's time, and look at Callie Robb, 9 thousandths slower. Can Callie find 9 thousandths? With track evolution and getting a banker lap in, that is doable, very, very doable. But the top 12 are only separated by under a second. So from first to 12th is 0.994. Mark of Kenya doing his typical Mark of Kenya things, not coming out of the pits. Medwards hasn't managed to put a time on the board yet, but he is in a flying lap as we join him through Magus and Beckett's, and we hit the hangar straight. DRS is opens up very early, goes under the bridge, and we're going to be hitting Stowe very shortly. So car number 28 in the AlphaTauri, teammates with Stein. Only drops 2. Some drivers are dropping 3 into that corner, but he drops 2, which gives him a bit more stability, but maybe loses a bit of traction on the exit. Comes around Club and Vale. Quite a very tricky corner, depending on if you're running traction or medium traction. He goes into P16, 1.5 seconds slower than the fastest time available just yet. So let's have a look at Plebmaster. He is on an outlap. So let's ride on board with him, making his SFR debut this week. What was Callie Robb's time looking like? Callie is a little bit faster actually. So let's jump on board with Callie as he crosses the line. He's about to cross the line. Is he going to set a provisional fastest time? He does. He goes just under a tenth faster, so he found a tenth more than the 9 thousandths he was looking for. So he's on provisional pole with a 26.642. So let's watch Plebmaster's first qualifying run in SFR. He takes a bit too much inside corner there though, and invalidates his lap in the Haas. So he will have to bring these tyres home gently. He won't have time to come in the pits and go back out and do another outlap. He's got to try and get these tyres back around the track as quickly but also as calmly as he can to make sure that these tyres last the lap. Delta Lima is just starting his flying lap as we come round the loop and onto the Wellington straight. What's his first sector time? Is he faster? Is he faster? No, he's not. He's half a tenth down on his best time, so he's not looking to improve at the minute. He needs to try and get into the 1:28. He's the only driver in the 1:29s so far. Cornet is 2/10 up on his best time, but that's only going to move him up 4 positions, just on the outskirts of the top 10. So not a great qualifying session so far from Cornet. So let's see what he's got in the middle sector. As we come round Copse, drops a gear and lets off through Copse. It's the first time I've seen a driver do that so far. But every driver has their line. Every driver finds their speed somewhere. As he comes around Magnussen, Beckes runs very wide, but it is still valid. And he is now 3.5 tenths up. So that's going to push him into about P8 so far, maybe P9, just below Will with his teammate. But runs very wide there. Oh, stays off track, tries to do the little glitchy thing, which you can't do. And yeah, it has invalidated his lap. So Plebmaster ended up coming back in the pits. I don't think he's going to have enough time to get in and get out and set a qualifying lap, but you never know. We'll see. We'll see what happens. Red Dog is on an out lap. Will is also on an out lap as he comes round Woodcote. Rayner on an out lap down the the international pit straight along with Viet. They are normally all in a party together, Viet, Rayner and Will, along with Dace. Lasser is on an out lap as he comes around again. They're all in about the same spot of the track. Who's that coming out the pits? That is Honesy. Now Honesy's just starting his out lap. Let's do some broadcast shots of them, and it's all been on board so far, but on board's pretty good in qualifying, as we are just focusing on the driver rather than the racing. So the first driver to go across the line to set a time is going to be Will, I believe. No, Rayner. So Rayner's going to be the first driver to set their last hot lap of qualifying. Comes into the village and the lane tree in the loop. Hits that inside apex very nicely there. Comes round onto the Wellington straight. DRS is open, and we've got Plebmaster retiring from the session, so he wasn't able to get back out of the pit lane. So he'll be making his debut in P20. Mark of Kenya as well. So both Hasses right at the back of the grid. We've got Cali, Rob, Stein, Dace, Coolbeans, all on outlaps. Lasser on a flying lap, Viet on a flying lap, Rayner on a flying lap. Rayner actually said this morning that he does not like Silverstone. He thinks it's very overrated, and he actually rates it just above Monaco, as thankfully I think that was Dace staying well out of the way. That was good peripheral vision there from Dace to stay. Wow, he does. Rayner loses a bit there. He lost quite a lot there actually, Rayner. We will follow him as well. I think Viet is coming. Viet's invalidated. There's a Red Bull. The Red Bull of a Bacon, I believe, who was just behind him. The next one to set a time. I think that was the Mercedes of Coolbeans who was getting out of the way there as Rayner comes across the line. Does he improve? He does improve, but he doesn't improve his position. Bacon, it wasn't Bacon, it was Jesus who was on an in lap. Stewart is on an out lap. Delta is on an out lap. I think that was Wrighty's on an out lap. Callie's on an out lap. He's just about to start. Yeah, he is. All drivers, it looks to be just starting. I think Will is on a flyer. So let's see. Will is a 10th down on his best time, so he's not looking to improve either at the minute. Track evolution isn't being as important as it normally is. He does improve. He runs a lot of time in that last sector, and he jumps up 2 positions into P5. So Coolbeans is just starting his lap, and he is a 10th up on his best time, and this will see him move into the 126s and possibly up a position, if not 2, if he can keep finding improvements. Cali Rob is 3,000th down on his best time. Stein is 2.5 tenths up on his best time. Stein is looking to get on provisional pole here. Cali Rob has got some time to find. Stein has to keep this time going. So let's ride on board with Stein as we come through the final couple of corners. One more braking zone. Leave off the throttle. floor it. Will he go on pole? He takes provisional pole. He goes 3.5 tenths faster, so Callie has got a lot of work to do. Let's see what Callie's middle sector stint time is. He's 7 thousandths up. He's got nearly 2 tenths to find. Coolbeans goes into P3 with a great 1:26.732. Lasser is down on his best time. Let's see what his middle sector stint was like. He is a 10th up, but that's not going to be enough to get him on pole position. Will is abandoned. So has Viet. Impossible's abandoned. Jesus is abandoned. Holmesy, not a great qualifying from him. He's in P15, and Red Dog, as I jump on board with him, is round at the exit of Beckett's and Chapel. Mark of Kenya, he did set in a time, actually. He's just coming round. Let's see what Mark of Kenya can put in the bottle. Mark of Kenya sets a 27.2 and goes into 10th. So both Haas are P10 and P20, and that looks like qualifying is over for all of the drivers. Will is on an in-lap, Bacon is on an in-lap, and everyone else has either finished their flying laps or in the pit lane. So that is your pole position. Stein got pole. I'm pretty sure he got pole last week as well, to be fair. He was on pole definitely in NRL last night at Portimao. No, he wasn't. That was Samba. Ignore me. I'm talking rubbish. But Stein on pole. Callie on the first row alongside him in P2. Coolbeans with a much better qualifying than last week in P3. Flying the British flag, the highest British driver up at the top at the minute. So all hopes and dreams are on Coolbeans. Lasser, the Dutchie, in P4. Dace, American, in P5. Will always loves a bit of Silverstone. Dark horse for a podium, Will, at Silverstone, so watch out for him. Way ahead of his teammate Cornet. Cornet's had a horrible time of it today, and 20's half a second off his teammate. Viet in P7. So both the Alpha and Mayo's P5 and P7 respectively. Rayner in P8, Bacon in P9, Mark of Kenya in P10, Stewart in P11, Indian Jesus in P12, Holmesy P13, so a bad qualifying session from Holmesy. Righty Boy P14, Cornet, as you've already mentioned, should be a lot higher with his previous form in P15. Red Dogs, so not a great session for the Aston Martins, 13th and 16th respectively. And as we come round here, let's drop back down again, and we have Stewart and Indian Jesus with 5 place grid penalties. I'm not sure what happened there. So a quick look at the race director. Incidents. A few people were speeding in the pit lane and grid penalties, so they hit each other. I'm not sure exactly what happened between them, whose fault it was, if anyone's fault at all. Sometimes when you are just on a flying lap, you do just miss out, but they are both going to drop down 5 positions. So that will move Holmesy at least up into P11, Righty Boy to P12, and I think who was just below Righty? Cornet, Red Dog, Medwards in P17, Delta P18, and didn't see who was 19th, and Plebmaster in 20th. Join you back shortly for the race. Right then, welcome back. Quick comfort break before we start the race. Let's have a look at the strategy. So everyone, it looks to be from P11 downwards, except for Stuart Little, is on the soft tyre. Holmesy, Righty. So Holmesy's in a very good position here in the medium tyre. starting P11. So Honesy, Righty, Cornet, Red Dog and Stewart finally does stick the medium tyre on. Medwards, Jesus, Delta, Exotic all on the mediums, and then Plebmaster at the back on the soft, so he's looking to make a good start and try and get as high up as he possibly can. But the top 10 obviously all starting on their qualifying tyres. The lobby's readied up and we will be going around the outlap. So let's ride on board with Stein as we come around the formation lap. So your drivers are going to be spending time warming their brakes up, warming their tyres up, getting into the groove, getting their heads right before we make a start. Obviously turn 1 very fast with all 20 cars heading down to there is normally at least an incident or two. There's your stops, lap 10 to 12 to go onto the softs, mediums sorry, or lap 9 to 12 to go onto the hards. I'm pretty sure every driver is going to go soft medium or medium soft, unless they have earlier damage and they have to take a different strategy where the hards will make it to the end no matter what time you put that tyre on. So it isn't a very easy one stop here, which isn't true as in real life. As in real life they will struggle to make it around the track. We've had lots of tyre blowouts at this track in the past, just the high speed corners. It's such a high speed track. And we have Will and Rayner, who have both been disqualified from the session, so they'll head down to the they're back onto the grid, which isn't good for their tyres or their brakes or their mental state, as that can, cause a bit of... Those cars have still got at least half a lap to go around. Look at Plebmaster right at the back. He's only just coming around Copse now, whereas Stein is already on the onto the hanger straight. So that could cause a few issues in the Discord. Jump on board. Delta, what is the weather here today?
Looking dry.
Fully dry, that's right. So confirmation we have a fully dry race, which is good. No issues there. Hey, what are you doing? One stop? Easy one stop?
Well, on paper it's an easy one stop.
Just got to get it
I'm
round.
probably going to do about 10 stops.
Well, good luck. Good luck.
Cheers.
So we're going to wait. We're going to jump back on board with Plebmaster, car number 21 in the Haas, purple helmet, as he comes around the final couple of corners. Will and Rayner's tyres are going to be stone cold. Everyone else's will be nice and warmed up to temperature. The best of the tyres will be at the back, so Exotic and Plebmaster. Now Exotic does like a drive from the back of the grid, so watch out for him. Let's ride on board. Let's hope we get a better camera angle than what we've got right now, because that's not good for anyone, let alone me, to see what's happening. No, we haven't. There we go. Right, so let's go with down in the middle, so Mark of Kenya. Let's jump on board with him as we watch the cars coming away. I think Stein got a pretty good getaway as we come round turn 1. A couple of cars going wide, McLaren going wide. There is who was that into the wall? I didn't see who that was. That was Will. Will's retired. Will is out of the session already, and we have a virtual safety car to start the race off. The Medwards of the Alpha Tauri didn't get away very well, so Will has had an absolute horrendous start to this week. Decent, very good qualifying. I probably jinxed him. And Lasser is out of the session as well. What's happened to Lasser? We've lost Lasser. Internet has probably gone, but he has disconnected. Interesting. So that was quite a good start. We've lost one car, virtual safety car. We will be going green again very shortly. The car has already been cleaned up, and Stein will lead us away when we go green racing. So Stein got away well. Kelly Robb got away well too. So it's all. And Rayner's got a 5-second penalty, ignoring yellow flags, which is the delta time you get under safety car. So Rayner has already got a 5-second time penalty, which we should have to serve in the pit lane. You've got a Red Dog at the back of the grid. Not sure why Medwards was overtaken. I thought there was cars going off there. That was just as they were going through Maggots and Beckett's. So Holmesy's moved up to P9 on his medium tyres. That's good for him. Obviously, he gained a free, easy position with Will, and he's obviously made another overtake. Kenya has had a great first lap and gained 5 positions. We are green again. Race track is green, and Plebmaster's coming in the pits and has got a 5-second speeding penalty for doing so as well. Stein sets the fastest lap of the race, doesn't mean too much just yet. And Cali Robb is chasing down Stein. Coolbeans is just behind. So Coolbeans at the minute is the only British driver in the top 10. So like I say, all hopes and dreams are on Coolbeans to get a good podium and bring it home for the Brits today. Cali Robb is chasing down Stein. Ding dong battle as always goes on between these two. Cali is chasing him hard, but it's not quite close enough into the turn 1 braking zone. Other gaps, it looks like it's all pretty much following each other at the minute. No one's looking to make any overtakes. Back of the grid, Pledmaster just coming out the pits in P17, Medwards in P18, Red Dog in P19. Aston Martin safety car today, so if that comes out, that's always looks pretty good. And Cali and Stein are still battling for it right at the front of the grid. Let's ride on board Cali through Magus and Beckett's. Lasser is now back. He has dropped down to P16 though, lost 12 places off his start. So if he can get back in that car and try and bring that back up as far as he possibly can. Cali not close enough to make the overtake. Dace, everyone is running line astern right now. Both Alphas are the top 6, 4th and 6th respectively. The Haas of Mark of Kenya in P5. Everyone within about half a second of each other, but no one able to make a move and overtake anybody. Stein sets fastest up of the race at 1 minute 30. 2:17. I'm unsure who to jump on board with, as you can see on the track map. Literally, it is everyone running in a line, so hopefully it doesn't last like this the whole race. Viet has overtaken Mark of Kenya. Viet's got the overtake done on Mark of Kenya, so both Alphas in P4 and P5 respectively. So if they can keep these positions, that'll be a very good race for those two drivers. Watch out for Honesy though. Honesy is going to be very fast at the end of the race. He is on the medium tyre. He'll be swapping to the soft tyre at the end, and he will be very, very, very fast, as he always is anyway. He just needs to take some pain on this stint, try and get past as many drivers as he can, and then make that overcut work. Undercut will be pretty powerful here as well, so watch out for some of the soft runners pitting maybe a lap or two earlier than everyone else. Try and get some clear air and try and get the power down, because the medium tyres will last and they won't feel like they're going off at the end. So watch out for that undercut. So we're going to jump. DRS has been enabled, I believe. So Cali Robb, Lass has left the session again. His internet's playing silly buggers. He is out. DRS is open. Cali Robb, is he gaining enough? Is he going to be able to get alongside into Stowe? He takes the inside line. Stein is fighting back, hangs his car on the outside, and Cali can't make the move count. But is Cali going to make another move into club? Nope, he is not. Coolbean's looking to take advantage of anything happening there. Viet goes very wide into club, and Mark of Kenya looks to make the switchback. That's a good move if he can get this done, but he's not quite got the power down. Coolbean says the fastest lap of the race. First driver into the 1 minute 29s, and a very close 1:29.998. Yellow flag, sector 2. Looks like we have got a Pledmaster going a bit slowly. Obviously made a mistake out of Cops. Struggling to get his car, moves out the way of Red Dog. Red Dog comes through and takes the position into P18. So Cali is not going to be close enough. He's not gaining enough down the straights. Neither is Coolbeans, neither is Dace. It's hard to see where the next overtake is going to come from right now. Exotic is very close to the back of Ricey. They're fighting hard, and Exotic is just following Ricey though through Woodcote. But if you can get a good exit out of here, we could see an overtake. Pledmaster picks up another 5 second speeding penalty for speeding in the pit lane, and he's now retired from the session in the pit lane. So that's his race over and done with. Exotic not close enough to Righty Boy, as we're going to jump back on board with Cali Robb as we come through on the exit of the Hangar Straight. So Cali looks a bit closer this time. It looks like he's gaining a bit more as well, but I don't think he's going to be close enough as we hit Stowe. He's not. We'll jump off him and see what Dace can do into the braking zone, but not a lot. Mark of Kenya is very close to the back of Viet. All the drivers are very close. Look at this, 5 cars, 6 cars in a row here. No one quite close enough to get past. And a comment come through on the Discord. Yeah, so Will confirming that he had an incident. And who's this? The Red Bull going round the outside. It's Bacon, and the Cornet's fighting very hard, and Holmesy takes full advantage there. Obviously lost a position at some point, but he's back up into P9 now. Bacon and Mark of Kenya fighting very hard. Cali Robb very close. Who's this coming up the inside? Rayner coming up the inside there and takes the position of Marco Kenya. So Marco Kenya had a very good start to the race, gained 5 positions, but he's now lost 3, but he's going to try and go up the inside of Rayner at Woodcote. He's got to give him space. He gives him a lot of space there. It's good driving between those two. You can force drivers out, but they are cutting in each other. But that's that move completed. Rayner is ahead of Mark of Kenya, took full advantage there. Maybe a slow exit out of the loop from Mark of Kenya and Rayner into P7. Cornet and Honesy fighting hard, but now let's go on to Cali Robb. Is Cali Robb? He looks a lot closer. He is going to be ahead of the braking zone. Let's get on board with Stein as you come round. Stein hangs it around the outside, and look at that from these two. Hey, jump on back on board. Stein's going to try and go up the inside, and Cali Robb gives him the space, but as I said earlier, he's got the inside line, but Stein can get the power down earlier. He can make the undercut, the switchback, but he's not going to be able to. There's no DRS on this straight anymore, so that looks like that move is done and dusted. They were fighting hard, and that move is done, but Stein, look at him up ahead. He's going up the inside. And they're side by side into the loop. Cali Robb's got the inside line. Stein's taking the long way round the outside. Coolbeans is going to be sniffing for this overtake. He's going to have DRS. They're going to be fighting hard. Their exit speeds aren't going to be as high as Coolbeans. Stein is already ahead of Cali Robb into the braking zone. And Stein gets that move done. Stein back ahead. Cali Robb in P2. Coolbeans still in P3. Dace in P4. We have a yellow flag and it's a Red Bull. Looks like it's going backwards. That is the Red Bull of Indian Jesus, I believe. Green flag racing again. And yellow flag again. Yeah, Indian Jesus struggling to get back on track there. Cali's going to look to make another move. Let's ride on board with Coolbeans though, because he is very close to the back of Cali Robb. Could see a move here. Cali, they both got DRS, so but Coolbeans does appear to be chasing down and catching a bit faster than what Cali Robb is catching, but he's not going to be close enough to make a move. Let's get the telemetry up, actually. Haven't had that, have we? Coolbeans has got a lot of VRS. He's just sat behind. And Stein's used the most. Stewart gets a time penalty. Coolbeans has got nearly 100% worth of VRS, so he's not using it as much as the other drivers, so he is basically just sat waiting for it. Cornet sets the fastest up of the race. He goes 7 thousandths faster than what Coolbeans had managed earlier. Honesy's still in P9. He's got Cornet up ahead. He's got some very fast drivers up ahead actually to get past. Stewart has the first corner cutting penalty of the race, I believe, if we jump on board with that. Alright, Righty Boy has got a 3-second. We haven't spoken too much about this. Let's go to head towards the back of the grid and see what the battles are like. Marco Kenya has dropped another couple of positions actually. His good friend Stuart Little, he's looking to make an overtake on. Goes up the inside and gets that move done. Very good move there. Kenya keeps the inside line, but Stuart's going round the outside. He's going to try and get this position back. Is he going to cut back to the inside? No, he's going to sit in back in behind, take the slipstream down the international pit straight into Copse. Now, what is it that Christian Horner said? You do not stick an inside wheel up into Copse. And Stuart Little was going to try and do that, but then decided up against it at the very last minute. But that does put Marco Kenya off. And he gets back ahead. Stuart Little is back ahead. That was pretty good racing from him. Put him off, did the dummy up the inside, and yeah, we'll give him that. That was well set up there, and Kenya is on the back foot now because Exotic is very close behind him as well. We've got Righty Boy in the background looking to take advantage of any issues that happen up ahead. Exotic is going around, and Kenya has taken the inside line. He's got the outside for Club. These two drivers going wheel to wheel, never ends very prettily. But they are fighting hard so far, and Kenya gets a position back, gets a little twitchy on the exit as we watch on board from Exotic's car. Stuart Little runs very, very wide. Kenya still has the inside line, but Stuart Little has excellent exit speed out of the final corner, goes very wide. These two fighting hard, and Exotic as well, not going to make it 3 wide. Kenya's going round the outside into turn 3 and has to slam the anchors on, and so does Exotic. And Stuart Little is back ahead of Marco Kenya. These two drivers fighting tooth and nail. Stein and Cali Robb are also fighting at the front. But we're going to stay on board with these two because this is a battle for the ages up here. 3 drivers all fighting hard. And Exotic has got the move done on Marco Kenya, I believe. And Righty Boy slipped through as well. Marco Kenya's lost 2 more. He's dropping like an absolute stone. Let's head back to the front because these two drivers, Cali and Stein, were swapping positions for the lead, and Coolbeans is very close to the back of them as well, so let's ride on board with Cool Beans. He's got 90% of his ERS tank left. Callie's got 80 and Stein's got 60. So let's see what these two drivers are going to bring. Rayner's got a 5-second speeding penalty and a 3-second time penalty. And Cool Beans wasn't close enough. Callie wasn't close enough. We're going to be looking to see drivers on the soft tyres making pit stops now. It probably would be a good time to make an undercut work. They wouldn't be due into the pits until about lap 10 or 11 to put the medium tyre on. But if you can get a medium tyre and get the undercut for a couple of laps, then that will do you in good stead for the rest of the race. Rayner, so who's this? Viet, Rayner, Cornet, Holmesy all in a line with each other as well, and Impossible Bacon in P5. So 1 to 4 are very, very close. 5 to 9 are close. Then we've got Stewart, Exotic, Righty, Mark of Kenya, all very close as well. Delta in P14 on his own at the minute, unfortunately. We've got Indian Jesus in the grass and the gravel coming into the pits, is he? I think he could possibly be retiring the car. Red Bull bringing him in to retire. Medward's on his own at the back as well. Gets a 5-second speeding penalty, and I'm expecting to see a retirement flash up very, very shortly. Marco Kenya, Righty Boy fighting hard, and Marco Kenya gets that position back from Righty Boy. Medwards takes 15th spot as Indian Jesus in the pit. Oh, he's got no front wing, that's why he's coming in the pit lane. Lasser has lost his wheel has died, so unfortunately for Lasser, I don't think he'll be rejoining us today. Stein seems to be putting a bit more of a gap now, and Callie's dropped about 7 tenths behind him when they were so close earlier. Dace is fighting for that final podium position with Cool Beans, Bacon, Viet. Holmesy very close to the back of Cornet, but wasn't able to make it count. Both these drivers on medium tyres, so they are just going to be following each other through. And we have the first few pit stops, do we? What's going on? Got some drivers coming in the pits. Who's in the pits? Who's in the pits? Dace has decided to take the undercut and try and get that working. So is Impossible. And so does... Doesn't flash up with who's in the pit lane. Why is it not flashing up with who's in the pit lane? Very, very annoying what we've got. Yeah, Dace, Bacon and Viet as well. The Alphas were double stacking. That's not going to be... I think they have fixed a glitch where you do lose like 10 seconds. But those three drivers all looking to make the undercut work and get some gaps happening. Kelly Robb is still chasing down Stein. Exotic and Stewart. Exotic goes through very easy there on Stewart. Has Stewart just let him through, or has Exotic made a blinder of a move? It's Holmesy. Medwards has left the session now. What's happened to Medwards? He's DNF'd. He's crashed on the exit of Cops, and is this going to bring out a full course safety car? No, it doesn't. So what's the situation? Rayner, Cornet and Holmesy all running very close. Rayner's got 8 seconds worth of penalties, and he will serve 5 when he comes into the pit, so that will drop him as Cornet's going round the outside of Rayner. He makes that move done. Holmesy, is he going to be interested as well? Rayner's fighting back, and Rayner pits. Rayner comes in the pits on lap 10. So that releases Cornet and Holmesy to have their own little battle. Holmesy's in a good position just behind Cornet. Cornet will not have DRS anymore, and Holmesy will. So Cornet's got to be aware of that. Stein has pitted. Stein pits. Cool Beans and Kelly Robb both stay out, so they're going to have to put their foot down now and try and find some pace to get ahead of Stein. Where does Stein come out the pits? Stein is going to come out the pits, and he's going to come out in a nice bit of clean air. He's going to have so much clean air. Here goes Rayner serving his 5-second grid time penalty, and that will see probably both Alphas and the Red Bull of Impossible Bacon go past him. So Holmesy didn't get close enough to Cornet to be able to make the overtake down into at the end of the Wellington straight into Woodcote and Luffield. Holmesy's going to have the whole international pit straight now to make a move. Is he going to stick a wheel up the inside of Cornet here? Is he going to dummy him? No, he's going to follow him all the way through Cops. Little let off, but Cornet runs slightly wider than Holmesy. Holmesy keeps the car a little bit better, so he's going to keep the speed. Let's watch these two as they go through Magus Beckett's and Chapel as they run on to the hangar straight. Can Holmesy make it count? He's got DRS open. Moves out to the inside. Cornet takes the outside. Cornet's going to go the long way round. Is he going to fight him back? He's going to try as hard as he possibly can, but no, he gets a massive snap of oversteer on the exit, And that is that for Cornet. Cornet is not going to be able to fight that back too hard. He's going to try and make the undercut, the switchback move, sorry, and pushes Jonesy out a little bit there. But Cornet gets that position back. Made that switchback work. You can get the power down slightly earlier through that with the other driver taking the normal racing line. But obviously, if you get your nose in front into the final corner, the other driver will have to yield in normal racing. So Jonesy is very close now to the back of Cornet, and they're going to be powering each other down. Jonesy's going to have DRS. Days sets the fastest lap. Jonesy takes the inside line and sweeps into the lead of the race. These two drivers are yet to pit. We have a yellow flag. It is a Red Bull. Not sure which Red Bull that is. I think it might be Indian Jesus. He is backwards and running around in circles. Yes, it was. So Cornet isn't going to be close enough to get a nose in front into Copse. So Jonesy now has the lead of the race, but as I said before, both these drivers yet to pit, and Cornet has 6 seconds worth of time penalties. Callie is actually back out ahead of Stein. So Stein lost some time in the pit phase, or he made a mistake on his in-lap or out-lap, and Callie is now in the net lead of the race. Righty boy into P5. 2 drivers ahead. Exotic and Stewart are fighting hard. He's going to want them to fight a little bit harder so he can close that 2-second gap back down to them. Exotic going to switch to the inside. He's going to go up the inside of Stewart. Stewart not going to be able to fight back. Probably threw him off a little bit there, but is he going to try the inside line into Club? Yes, he does. He goes up the inside, but then backs out at the last minute as he realised that gap, he wasn't going to be able to get the car slowed down enough. He's probably going to understeer and take Exotic out. And Stewart is down into P4. Exotic takes P3, but Stewart looking like he's going to take the inside. We've lost Indian Jesus now. He has retired from the race in the pit lane. Delta on the hard tyre. Not sure if he had to pit early. Maybe got some damage at somewhere along the line. Red Dog in P14 with 3 seconds worth of time penalties. As I said, Stein is now closing the gap on Callie, so these two are going to have to reignite their battle. Corbin's lost a bit of time in the pit stop phase, so he is a second and a half behind the two in front, and he was about 3 or 4 tenths behind them, so he lost about a second in the pit stop phase. Yellow flag. It's the McLaren. It's the McLaren of Delta Lima at the exit of Copse. Yes, he's lost the car. The hard tyre is obviously not working for him, and he's going to be losing hand over fist. Currently the last classified driver in the race. Stewart and Exotic still fighting hard between each other. Stein as we head up. Magus and Beckett's, let's ride on board with these two as you come through these sequence of very fast right left corners before we hit the DRS zone of the hangar straight. So there is a car ahead of Callie, but it hasn't given him DRS. Stein has DRS, but he's not going to be able to gain and close enough before we hit Stowe, and it's the ghosted out car of Lasses. That's not going to impact these two drivers. It's a lap car. They can just drive straight through it. Can be a bit off-putting into the braking zone once we get onto the wing cam low down on the ground of Stein, following Callie Rob through the final couple of corners. So what lap is Cornet and Jonesy going to pit on? They have both got the medium tyres. Let's get the tyres up. Who hasn't stopped yet? So Jonesy's not stopped, Cornet's not stopped, Stewart's not stopped, Exotic's not stopped, and Righty's not stopped. Every other driver has made one pit stop. They are all on 13 lap old medium tyres. Red Dog's done 10 laps on his mediums. I'm not sure if they're going to be able to go to the end. He's got 12 more laps to do. They could probably just about do 22 laps, but that's going to be pushing it. Delta is on the hards. He's been on them for 2 laps. Not sure why he went hard tyres, actually. He did start on the mediums. Yeah, he started on the mediums, actually, didn't he? So, yeah, he's his strategy's gone out the window, as those softs wouldn't have... They might have just about lasted, but he probably didn't want to risk it too much. I will jump on board with him very shortly, but he's probably raging inside his... it's a pretty nice helmet, actually. I can't quite see it from that angle. Let's go back onto the broadcast mode. Let's see what his helmet cam looks like. Pretty colourful on top. Races under the Welsh flag. Looks quite Welsh to me. Very red and white and green. I think it is. Yeah, red, white and green, that Welsh helmet in the McLaren. Bit twitchy on the exit of Stowe. Those hard tyres obviously not feeling too good on his car right now. Stein has made a move for the overtake and gets the lead of the race. So Stein now leads the race in a net position anyway. He is in P6 on the track, but track position. And that's a very fast lap from Stein there, and sets the fast lap of the race by about a second, I believe, if not about 8/10, 1:28.7. So Callie is going to have to try and fight back with all his might. He will have DRS. It will be a good opportunity now to get a good exit out of the loop onto the DRS Wellington straight. And Rayner's picked up a 3-second time penalty for his troubles as well. So Callie, let's jump on, but it's not going to be close enough. You've got to be a bit closer than that on the exit of the loop to try and make a move into this corner. I can never remember what it was called. I think it's Woodcote, and then this is Luffield, I believe. I always get them confused sometimes. I haven't been at this track for quite a long time, but let's have a look at the penalty situation. What penalties are we looking at? Rayner's got 6 seconds, so has Cornet, so has Stewart. Drivers on 3 seconds are Exotic, Righty, Dace, Viet and Red Dog. So Delta's going to have a stream of cars coming up to lap him now. I think the first one is going to be Stein. Yeah, so Stein's going to be the first driver to come and lap him. That will surely be followed by Callie, Rob, Coolbeams and Dace, all in quick succession. Bacon's in a good spot here. Net P4 right now. And we have some drivers coming in the pits. Who's coming in the pits? Righty Boy, Stewart and Exotic all pitting. Cornet and Hosey have stayed out. So we're going to see Stein, Callie, Rob, Coolbeans and Dace all jump up at least a few positions here, if not more drivers in Bacon, Viet and Rayner. As Exotic exits the pits, currently in P7, but he will drop at least another 2 or 3 and come out just inside the points in P10. But the tyres, Exotic, Stewart and Righty all on the fresh softs. Exotic actually comes out in P11 just behind Mark of Kenya. As I've said before, these drivers are going to be on the soft tyres and they will be very, very fast at the end of the race. Cornet and Holmesy will need the gap. Actually, I'll tell you what, Stein's 15 seconds behind Cornet and Holmesy. Holmesy has pulled away massively from Cornet, so Holmesy's got a 19-second lead over Stein. You lose about 27 seconds in this pit lane. Is Holmesy pitting? Holmesy's pitting. Cornet is pitting. So now let's jump on board with Stein. He's got Callie just behind him, but I don't think Callie's going to be close enough to make an overtake. Exotic and Mark of Kenya. Exotic's got past Mark of Kenya. Callie not close enough to Stein, but these two drivers need to work together. They have to get out ahead of these two. Stewart picks up a 3-second time penalty. That moves them up to 9. Holmesy fits the soft. Cornet, I'm 99% sure, is going to fit the soft tyre on as well. Yes, he has. So Stein is about to go through. So does Callie. So does Coolbeans. So does Dace. I think we're going to get Impossible Bacon ahead of him as well. And maybe even Viet. No, he's going to come out ahead of Bacon just about. Yes, and Cornet is behind Viet. Rayner, so Cornet, the 4 or 5 seconds he was behind Holmesy has pushed him 4 positions further down. So Holmesy is in an absolutely fantastic position here. The lead gap to the leader, he's got 8.8 seconds to try and catch up and win the race 2 of the season and move himself on to 50 points. Callie very close to the back of Stein. These two have been so close all race, pushing each other, and Coolbeans is literally just waiting for the moment. Dace and Coolbeans have run similar pace, have been very close to each other as well, but not just, probably been about half a tenth, maybe a tenth off the pace of the leaders, which is why they're dropping back ever so slightly. So Holmesy's already gained half a second, on the leaders. So he's going to be absolutely flying now. Cornet very close to the back of Rayner. Obviously different tyre strategies. Rayner's very twitchy on the exit of Chapel, and Cornet is going to be the easiest overtake he's going to make all race as he comes up the outside. Rayner filters back on the inside, and Cornet gets P8 and is coming up to his friend Viet in P7. Stewart, Mark of Kenya having a battle for the ages again, battling hard all race. The purple and white and black and grey helmet of Mark of Kenya chasing down Stewart's green, black and very cool Runnings inspired helmet, actually very Jamaican. So Delta coming in the pit lane. What's happening with here? He's going to go for a glory run on the soft tyres. 8 laps remaining, glory run. try and get a fastest lap in Delta. So Stein and Kalirov fighting hard as we go through Woodcote. And Callie's going to get the switch back. Callie's up the inside, and he is ahead of Stein. And that's a good exit there from Callie. Got the power down really early, and he is now ahead. And Callie is leading the race. Stein's going to filter in behind him, but he will have DRS if all he has to do is stay as close as he possibly can. ERS wise, it's not a very ERS hungry track. The drivers aren't using it as much as they probably would normally at certain tracks, but Stein is closing, gaining, going to go round the outside. Callie's taking the inside. Callie's going to stick a nose in, but they do just touch. Callie keeps it on track, yes. Goes off track, obviously, and that lets Corbins through into P2. So Stein, I think Callie appeared to leave his front wing in there with Stein cutting across. I'll put that down probably as a racing incident, but yeah, you don't know. Oh, and as I jump on board with Stewart, Stewart's out the race. That is probably going to bring out a full course safety car with 8 laps of the race remaining. This is going to bunch all the track up. I'm not sure what happened to Stewart there. Stewart is off. Stewart is out. And we're going to have a safety car come out. This is a chance for drivers. So the ones who haven't, Holmesy and Cornet are in absolutely fantastic positions. We've got Mark of Kenya coming in the pits. Righty Boy stayed out. He's on 2-lap-old soft. So everyone who's just put soft tyres on is in an absolutely fantastic position. Apart from Delta, unfortunately, who has been lapped, and he probably won't be able to unlap himself. I think he might. I don't know, actually. Is that the safe? No, the safety car's there. I'm not sure what the situation's going to be with Delta. Will he be able to unlap himself? I think he might be able to, you know. I think he might be able to join the back of the pack. We'll find out in a minute. So, Stein leads the race. Corbin's in second. Callie in third. Dace in fourth. Holmesy in the best position, though, in P5. Fresh soft tyres. The 4 cars ahead of him will not be able to pit unless they want to lose a whole heap of time. They will drop probably to about 10th spot. Callie pits. They are pitting. They are coming in the pits. I'm not sure why. That's just going to give... I don't think they personally needed to. They're going to drop so far behind now. There's got Bacon coming in the pits as well. And it looks like... Cornet staying out. Rayner's coming in the pits. Exotic is pitting as well. What's Righty Boy going to do? Righty should stay out, Righty. Stay out, stay out, stay out. Not sure why he's coming in the pits. He's only got 2-lap-old soft tyres on. I'm not sure why he's boxing. Those tyres would easily have lasted to the end of the race. He would have been able to jump ahead of all those cars there and been in a very good position. Red Dog is... going to be able to catch the back of the pack up. Had a horrible start. I think he got pushed off, bullied out and had a spin, but he is going to be able to catch the back of the pack up. He's on fresh soft tyres. He will be able to make some moves. As Righty Boy comes out the pits, Mark of Kenya jumps into P10. The car ahead of him is Lasser, who's been lapped and disconnected, so he's not going to be involved. And we're going to come back very shortly. Right then, back. We're still under safety car. Cali Rob came out on fresh mediums. Not sure why they stuck medium tyres on. He's in P6, so he's lost track position. Dace behind him on fresh softs. Bacon on fresh softs. Rayner on fresh softs. Cali. It's probably in the worst position of the drivers in the top 10 so far. What's the penalty situation like? Because that's going to cause some issues. Cali's got 8 seconds. He must have sped in the pit lane coming in the pits. That's going to throw him right off at the end. Dace is 3. I still think Holmesy is in the best position to win round 2. He's got fresh soft tyres on. Both drivers ahead have got slightly worn mediums. They're not going to be too bad. Not going to be feeling too horrible. All the drivers are now backed up. Delta is a lap down, so he's not going to be able to unlap himself. Red Dog is just about to catch the back of the pack up, and this will now be all the pack are together. We've got 15 runners left. We'll be going green, I assume, at the end of the lap for a 5-lap shootout. Let's have a look at the fastest lap of the race so far. It's been set by Holmesy with a 28.436. So he's 4/10 faster than the next closest driver, 3/4 faster. So Holmesy's got so much pace here today. There we go, confirmation that the safety car is in this lap. So Stein, once the safety car passes safety car line, he will come into the pits and Stein will take over as the safety car. Interesting restart in NRL last night. Long straight up Portimao here. Very you got to try and back the cars up. So here's the safety car line. So Stein is now the safety car. Stein's got and there's a second safety car line. And now we're let's jump on board with, let's go Holmesy, shall we? Let's go Holmesy. He's got the best tyre. Stein's gone. Gets a good exit there already, and it looks like he's already ahead of Coolbeans up the inside. He gets the move done. Coolbeans has to back out, and Holmesy's already into P2. Cornet's going to go up the inside of Coolbeans 2 and gets the Coolbeans is still fighting him hard, but Cornet's on those slightly softer tyres. And Kenya's got a 5-second penalty for ignoring yellow flags. So Cornet up the gearbox of Coolbeans and moves out. Is he going to have enough speed to get through? Up the inside. Oh, I guess a 3-second penalty for his cut in the corner there. And Via is very close behind as well. Cornet is on the outside of the pit straight. Coolbeans fighting hard between those two. And look at that. Too wide. Cornet up the inside. Oh, very close, and they do touch, but no Max Verstappen, and they are wheel banging. Cali Rob's getting very interested between these two as well. Car number 88 following Viet, and with Dace just behind him in P7 through Magus and Beckett's. So what's the gap to the leader? Holmesy, the two Dutch guys, P1 and P2 right now. They've already pulled a gap to Coolbeans, who has been fighting Cornet so hard. And Holmesy's not going to be able to make a move into club. No, he's not. Cornet looking to make a move on Coolbeans, but didn't make it happen. And here we go. Let's flick through all the cars and see how close they are. Exotic in P10. Michael Kenya 12. Red Dog 13th. Delta unfortunately lapped. And Lasser's Ghost is there. So Delta's just having a little drive around right now. He can't influence anything. And he'll be coming home in P14. So that's right on board with Holmesy. Is he going to be close enough to make a move? We're not going to have DRS until the end of this lap. Not quite close enough. Just going to follow their ERS situation. Both are the same. About 5% within each other. Coolbeans still running in P3. He's going to try and prevent an all-Dutch podium. At the minute, he's in a Dutch sandwich. We've got Stein and Holmesy in P1, P2. As Holmesy's very close there to Stein. Not going to be close enough. So we've got Stein and Holmesy, both Dutch drivers in P1, P2. Coolbeans the British in P3. Cornet and Viet, both Dutch in P4 and P5 respectively. So he's got to, keep those off the podium. At least have one guy. But Coolbeans is very, very good at getting podiums. He doesn't get time penalties, and he hasn't got any today. The top three haven't actually got any. Cornet switches to the inside. He's going to get this move done though. And up the inside, Coolbeans doesn't have an answer to that question. and Corbin's drops now to P4, but Cornet has got a lot of time penalties. He's got 9 seconds worth, and he's not going to be able to pull away that far in with the 3 laps that are remaining when they cross the start-finish line now. Honesy, we're going to have DRS. There's the confirmation. DRS has been enabled. He's very close to the back of Stein. He's going to be saving his tyres for this moment. He's going to have the advantage of the fresh tyres and the DRS and the traction and the cornering speed and the grip. So Stein is an absolute sitting duck here, I would say, but Stein is no mug. He knows how to drive. He's a very fast driver in himself. Bacon has overtaken Rayner into P8. Here goes Honesy, switches to the inside. He's going to have the inside line. He's going to make Stein go round the long way. Stein sweeps out to get the switch back round the outside into... There we go. Stein tries to fight back but hasn't got the tyre grip. And there goes Honesy, pulls away into P1. Cornet remains in P3 but with 9 seconds worth of time penalties. Corbin's has got a line 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 cars all within about half a second of all of each other behind him. He's just got to keep his head down, and he will gain at least 1 position at the end of the race with Cornet with 9 seconds worth of penalties. Gaps, let's have a look at gaps. We've got a yellow flag. It's the McLaren, and it is the McLaren of Delta as the only remaining McLaren. He's struggled out of cops today, actually. So that's about the second or third time I've seen him struggle out of cops. Corbin's is still trying to chase down Cornet. He's got to try and stick with him. He's got to try and stick within his DRS, because if he loses DRS then Dace will get it on him. Kelly Robbs dropped a position. He's down in P7. Honesy set the fast lap of the race, 28.393. So Kelly Robb, everyone appears to be in a bit of a train right now, all getting slipstream and DRS off each other, with no one being able to make too many moves. Kelly's trying to switch and sweep, but he's not going to be able to get that done. I think the move at the front is done. Stein's now 6/10 behind. He's not going to be able to gain too much. Just as I say that, Kelly has overtaken Viet, and Viet's dropped a few positions. Maybe he got pushed out on the exit of Aintree in the loop, and Viet is now in P8. Kelly in P6, Dace in P5, and looks like he got a better exit, but Corbin's has remained. But there goes Dace. He's going to try and stick one up the inside. No, he's not. He's going to fall back in behind. He's not going to do the Lewis Hamilton and Max Verstappen line through Copse there, and remains behind him. And he's going to follow him through Maggots and Beckett's and Chapel and try and get the DRS on the next on the straight. Corbin's is just inside, as I mentioned. He's got to stay within the DRS of Cornet, or else he has got it, hasn't he? Yes, he has. Or else Dace will be able to send one, and he looks like he's going to do it. Dace is making the move. He's gone for the opportunistic move up the inside, and Corbin's has to back out, and Corbin's has now dropped down to P5. He is on those slightly harder and slightly older medium compound tyres. Dace gambled, and it appears his gamble's paid off. We've got a yellow flag. It's a Williams Rayner. So after such a good opening weekend last week in China, both Williams have had horrible races. One disconnect with his wheel, and the other one's just had a bad drive. He did come out and say he doesn't like the track, Rayner, so he wasn't expecting too much of himself today, but he would have preferred to be a little bit higher. He had a good qualifying. So Stein is sticking with Honesy, actually. Yeah, Stein is sticking with Honesy. He's not opening up the gap as much as Honesy probably would have liked, but I don't think Stein's going to be able to get close enough to make the DRS count up the hanger straight. See a long line of drivers, all with time penalties. The only 3 who haven't are Honesy, Stein and Corbin's, which means that Corbin's at the minute, unless there is a mistake that happens on the final. But Stein is very close. Stein is very, very close to Honesy. Stein's going to have DRS. This is his last chance from the last lap of the race. He's going to go for it. He's going to go up the outside. Honesy is going to fight tooth and nail into turn 1, and Honesy spun round. Stein has spun Honesy round. I think it was a racing incident, and Honesy is now retired from the race. Stein is going to win. Dace is going to come home in P2. He went ahead there at some point. Cornet is also going to get P3 on track, but Corbin's will get P2. Cornet very twitchy on the exit. Corbin's gets P2. Dace gets P3. Bacon gets P4. Kelly P5. Viet P6. Cornet is P7 with his 9 seconds. Exotic gets P8. Righty Boy gets P9. So good point scoring positions today for Mercedes, 2nd and 9th. So that's how many points is that? That's 2 and 15. So that's 17 points for Mercedes. This brings them right back into it. Marco Kenya gets the final points paying position in P10 for the Haas. Red Dog just misses out, and Holmesy unfortunately lost it all right at the end, going wheel to wheel with Stein at Stowe, and ended up retiring from the race. And there goes Lasser across the start finish line. And we have driver of the day is Exotic again. Likes a drive from the back of the grid. I've already forgotten where he finished, but we have Stein winning the race. Not sure what's going to happen in the steward's room, if that's going to be investigated at all. I'm not sure. Again, on first viewing, I don't know who was at fault, if it was a racing incident. But Corbyn's had a great drive, finishing in P2. Kept all the Dutchies off the podium, and Dace. So at one point, it was looking like we're going to have an all-Dutch podium. In the end, we've ended up with Stein winning, Corbyn's in 2nd, and American Dace in P3. So that's a good, strong finish for him. Let's have a quick rundown of the timing screen. The race director. All those time penalties flashing up. There we go. Race director quickly. Let's have a quick flick through here, just in case anything comes up at the end. You can always... quite a few. There we go. Look at all these warnings and exceeding speed limits and damage. But not many of crashing into each other. Was there anything at the end? No, nothing at the end between Stein and Holmesy, so I think the game classed it as a racing incident. But there we go. Thank you for watching. Thank you for joining us. It's been it was a really good race. It's, Holmesy doing the opposite strategy along with Cornet, and it did pay off for them a little bit. But yeah, it was all good. I very much enjoyed that race. It was a bit of a slow burner at the beginning, but at the end, yeah, Stein and Holmesy coming together on the final couple of corners, and Stein coming out on top, but Holmesy might be making a protest to the stewards. But that was SFR Season 5 Round 2 Silverstone over and done with. We head to the night race of Saudi Arabia and Jeddah next week. Haven't long been there. We finished the last couple of races of Season 4 in SFR was at Jeddah, and that was a very, very good race. Lots happening, and very clean and very concise racing between all the drivers, so I do look forward to that again. Hopefully it will be as good as it was last time. But thank you for joining us, and that is SFR Round 2. See you next week for Round 3 in Jeddah.